Hello everyone, welcome to HashiTalk India. Today we are going to talk about one of important, interesting and critical topic that is security. We will demonstrate how to deploy the security automations for AWS WAF using Terraform. And then we will also talk about how our solution can protect your web application from common web exploits and bots. Let's get started. My name is Dr. Rahul Gaikwad. I am a lead DevOps consultant at AWS. I'm a part of Proso team where we help our customers to migrate and modernize our customer business critical workload on AWS cloud. I am a HashiCorp certified on Terraform and Consul along with 6 AWS certification and other industry certifications. I am also an open source contributor to Terraform AWS provider and AWS Cloud Control provider. Me and my team has published many AWS Terraform solutions on open source platforms such as AWS Campus. Today with me, I have my colleague Tamilselvan. He will join us in this session later to talk about the architecture and the demonstration of this solution. With that, let's get started with today's agenda. First, I will talk about the problem statement and some customer challenges. Then I will briefly share our proposed solution and its benefits. As this solution leverage AWS WAF service, so I will give you an overview of WAF service. Then Tamil will join us to talk about architecture and demonstration of this solution. Uh, let's talk about the problem statement and some real customer challenges. Being a ProSo consultant, we work on a different customer engagements, and those engagements are from different domains. Sometimes it's banking, finance, healthcare, or automobile, and so on. And what we have observed is like often customers are insist on high security standards to protect their web application, right? Because of the criticality of the system and customers' PII data. So we have also observed while migrating on the cloud, customers faces challenges in the protecting their web application because customers may not know all the security services and solutions which are available on the AWS cloud. We have seen so many customers try to enable and manage their security configurations through manual efforts like using CLI or maybe AWS console. And as you know, it's almost impossible to manage those security configurations if you have multi-region or multi-account setup. And it's also not recommended to keep track of all these security configurations, provisioning, managing through the manual efforts, right? It's not a scalable. And we have also seen that they have put a lot of efforts to manage these configurations through console, CLI, some APIs, and whatnot. So some customers are already started using infrastructure as a code such as Terraform or CloudFormation to provision and manage their infrastructure on the AWS cloud. And yes, this solution is already available as a CloudFormation template. However, customers, though those are already using Terraform as a IAC tool, they are also demanding the same solution should be available in the Terraform so that their engineer team can leverage the same solution using the same IAC tool. So they do not need to manage different IAC tools in their environment. So we have seen that there is a need of Terraform Cloud Formation template and custom resources to be transformed into the Terraform. And we have also observed there are some limitations when you refactor CloudFormation template into reusable Terraform AWS modules. So as we talked about multiple problem statements and customer challenges, let's switch the gear and talk more about the solution. So our solution allows you to easily deploy and define your customizable web security rules for your web application. And it also enables you to control which legitimate traffic you want to allow to your web application. As our solution is developed in Terraform, that solution will reduce your manual efforts and errors. And you can easily integrate this solution in your automation pipeline, which will improve your deployment speed. So during the development of this solution, we have done the heavy lifting for you and transformed all the CloudFormation custom resources into Terraform modules and the resources. And apart from this, you do not need to switch your ISC tools, and you can still provision and manage your Terraform resources using the Terraform. So let's deep dive. So let's talk about WAF. So what is WAF? WAF stands for Web Application Firewall, and it's a AWS managed service to protect your web application from common exploits and attacks. Here are some benefits you can expect from WAF. The first one is frictionless setup. Actually, you can deploy WAF without changing your existing architecture. And you do not need to configure SSL, TLS, or DNS. The second benefit we can expect is integrated bot control. You can easily turn on AWS managed bot rules to protect your application against the common attacks. The third one is managed and custom rules. Actually, this WAP provides a very easy and ready to use managed and custom rules, which you can leverage. And the last one is simply pull in third-party rules. What it means is you can simply add third-party rules to your AWS Web ACL rules. So with that, let me talk about one of our solutions which are already available on our AWS platforms. Let me share the screen and walk us through the different solutions. Okay, I just opened the first link, which is available on AWS Solution Library as one of AWS solution, Security Automation for AWS WAF. You can see we have a link for implementation guide, and on the right you can see all the details has provided. Okay, you can open the view implementation guide. You can download the guide as well as template source code, and you will have the nice documentation, step-by-step approach, how you can deploy this solution using the cloud formation template. So the second link is more into the AWS prescriptive guidance. You can see this is the solution which we have published as a part of AWS prescriptive guidance. Deploy the security automation for AWS WAF solution using the Terraform. Here we have provided the code repository as well as the summary of the solution. What are the benefits you can expect from the solution? What are the prerequisites before you deploy the solution? Then the architecture diagram, how the code directory is structured, Then you can see we have provided all the details, which tools we have used, what services we have used, what are some best practices, and then you can follow this step-by-step approach to deploy this solution if you are looking for the solution to be deployed through the Terraform as a ISC. Okay, we have also provided some troubleshooting steps which we have observed and encountered during deployment of this solution. And we also provided some references if you want to deep dive into this solution. Then the third link is actual Terraform code. Okay, you can see this code is available on the open source platform, that is AWS sample, and you can see we have provided all the relevant information, including architecture diagram, deployment steps, and inputs, and some existing issues. And we are working on enhancing this solution, and soon we are going to publish the new release of this solution. With that, I will let Tamil talk about the architecture diagram of the solution and the demonstration of the solution. Over to you, Tamil. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone. Thank you very much, Rahul, for the great presentation, which is explained about a problem statement and as well as solutions. So now I will walk through about the architecture and demo for the security web automations using Terraform. So before I go into that, I'll introduce myself. So I'm working in AWS as a DevOps consultant. I do work predominantly on various DevOps tools, and I do have a 4 AWS certifications, and I certified in the HashiCorp Associate for Terraform and Vault. Now I will walk through about the architecture. So here we do have a different types of users. One is valid users and attackers. So when the valid user trying to reach out the applications, they will not be facing any issues because it's happening through the proper authentication and authorization. When the attackers in the sense it could be bots, or it could be other than any valid user, it could be scrappers, or it could be anything. So when they are trying to access through any machine or someone to through the application, they will be reaching out the one endpoint which we have configured as a honey endpoint. So that can be configured into the any web application. So when the attacker is reaching that specific endpoint, that endpoint captures their IP addresses and it sends the logs and with the proper request including the IP addresses into the lambda function. So the lambda function, it parses the request and it pull the IP addresses from the logs and it sends back into the WAF rules. So we do have a different WAF rules configured, which is SQL injection and then accesses HTTP flood. So based on the access which they have done, so that would go through the respective rules by the respective lambda functions. So we do have a configured different NASIS, S3 and CloudWatch. So these are all helping us to analyze the logs for parsing the each request. So yeah, when the second time attacker is trying to access the web application, they will be blocked by WAF itself because the Lambda already updated the respective IP addresses into the rules. So attacker could not able to reach the web application. They'll get blocked by WAF itself. So this is adding another layer of security for the web applications. So here we could see the code base for the solution and as well as the comments which we are going to use for deployment. We will be seeing this about in the further demo. Now I will walk through the demo. This is the code base for the solution. So here you could see modules folder. Under modules folder, as we have seen in the architecture, the required resources has been created as a module and we have kept them under this folder. So we do have a main.tf file, which is the main file, which will be calling the each module with the required properties. And we have a variables and locals.tf file as well, which is actually modifying parsing the user input according to the needs, and then it will apply the right values into the variable. So next we'll see the Terraform variables file. which is we have provided as a example TF as well. Here you could see the different WAF rules are selected as a true or false. So based on the user needs, they can select whichever rules they wanted to apply in the account, and they can select only that rule and that will be deployed. The remaining it won't. Now we will deploy the solutions using the Terraform. So this is our working folder. I will be running the first Terraform init command to initialize the working directory and all the modules. Once that is completed, we will run both Terraform plan and apply to deploy our code into the account. The Terraform init is completed. Now we'll run a Terraform plan. While running a Terraform plan and apply, we need to provide the specific variable files as well, which we have given as an example one. You can use it. So I run a Terraform plan. So now it shows the execution plan which is going to be deployed during the apply. The plan is running. Yeah, the plan is completed. Now we can apply the changes into the account. So this is the one. It's going to deploy the actual infrastructure into the account. Again, while running a Terraform apply, we can provide the variable file. And you can provide the auto approval command as well if you don't want to approve it again in between. And now apply is going on. Yeah, now Terraform apply is completed. We could see all the resources got deployed, and these are the output section has been created. Now we will move it to console and we will see the resources which have been created, and we will test one of the WAF rule as well. This is the account where I deployed the resources. Now we will go to the WAF console. We could see the new WAF web basic rules got deployed, and under this rule you could see the many rules have been defined. So those are including custom rules as well as the inbuilt default rules as well. So these can be selected by the user which needs to be deployed and which is not required for them. So here the each rule has adding into the IP sets as well, which is covered. Like for one of the bad bot rule I will go and I will show you the IP sets. So this is a customized rule. So in this IP sets, whatever the IP addresses we are going to add, either it will be blocked or allowed, depends on the condition we provided in the rule sets. So each rules has the separate IP sets as well. So now we will go back to the WAF bad bot rule. So you could see this IP, if any IP address is present in any one of them, either IPv6 or IPv4, that will be blocked here. So before going to the rule, we will see about bad bot rule, what bad bot rule actually it is. So this is to make a safer side for the web applications. So in the web applications, if any user trying to access this application without the proper access, like any through bad bot or through any scrappers, if they are trying to access this bad bot, it's have a one API gateway URL which can be configured into the any web application. So whoever trying to access using a bad bot or any other way instead of the valid user, so they will be end up to reaching into that endpoint, which is we called as a honey endpoint. So it's a trap. So when the user is reaching to that specific trap, then their IP addresses will be stored, and then Lambda function will actually grab the IP addresses, and they will put back into the this WAF rule, so that when the next time user access from the same IP addresses, they will get blocked by WAF itself. So we will go through those and we will see the demo for that. So to get the honey endpoint URL, we have created in the output section. So this is the backbone honey endpoint URL. I'm going to directly access this URL through my browser, and I will see the IP addresses whether it is getting added or not. So I'm pasting this. You could see it is telling thanks for the visit, and its respective IP address it is putting my IP addresses. So you could, now we will refresh this. You could see the new IP sets got my IP addresses got added. So that when the next time user is trying to access from the same one, they will be getting blocked by WAF. So it's a more secure for the applications. Yeah. Yeah, I have completed the demo. Thanks everyone who joined this session. It was a great pleasure to get a chance to talk on this HashiCorp talks. And if you have any questions about the solution, you can reach out to our LinkedIn account, which has been showing in the slides. Thank you.